Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Naranam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiri Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttam Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtaki. So continuing with the discussion on Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 8, Manifestation of Brahma from Garbhodaksha Vishnu. Text number 20 onwards. Tamasya pare viduratma sarga vichinvato bhut sumahan strinebhi yo dehe bhajam bhayamiriyana parikshino ayuryajasya heti. O Vidura, while searching in that way, searching in what way? Brahmaji started looking for his origin, that what I am here for, where did I come from? So he went into the stem of the lotus. And he came all the way close to the navel of Garbhodaksha Vishnu and still couldn't understand. Brahmaji reached his ultimate time, which is the eternal wheel in the hand of Vishnu, and which generates fear in the mind of living entities like the fear of death. ततो निवृत्तो अप्रतिलब्धकामः स्वधिष्ण्यम् आसाद्य पुनः सदेवः शनैर्जितश्वासनिवृत्तचित्तो पुण्यशीलदारूढ समाधियोगः. Thereafter, being unable to achieve the desired destination, he retired from such searching and came back again to the top of the lotus. Thus controlling all objectives, he concentrated his mind on the Supreme Lord. Samadhi involves concentrating the mind upon the supreme cause of all, even if one is unaware of whether his actual nature is personal, impersonal, or localized. Concentration of the mind on the Supreme is certainly a form of devotional service. To cease from personal sense endeavors and to concentrate on the supreme cause is a sign of self-surrender. And when self-surrender is present, that is the sure sign of devotional service. Each and every living entity needs to engage in devotional service to the Lord if he wishes to understand the ultimate cause of his existence. In fact, the ultimate cause of his existence and ultimate purpose of his existence is to engage in devotional service. Ultimate purpose is that. So, but the cause of his existence, one has to know only by surrender, only by devotional service. Then only we can understand. So these scientists trying to understand the cause of the existence or different questions about the universe, about the existence, but on their own they want to understand this. That's not possible. कालेन सोजा पुरुषयायुषाभिः प्रवृत्त योगेन विरूढ़ बोधः स्वयं तदंतर हृदय अवभात अपश्यता पश्यत्यन्न पूर्वम. At the end of Brahma's 100 years, when his meditation was complete, he developed the required knowledge, and as a result, he could see in his heart the Supreme within himself, whom he could not see before with the greatest endeavor. So even Brahmaji had to go through this tapasya, and when he got purified, then all the knowledge was given in his heart. Even the first shloka says, Tene Brahma Hridaya Adikave, one who has given the knowledge to Brahma in his heart. That Adikavi, the Supreme Lord. The Supreme Lord can be experienced only through the process of devotional service, and not by one's personal endeavor and mental speculation. The age of Brahma is calculated in terms of Divya years, which are distinct from the solar years of human beings. So Divya years is actually Chatur Yuga times 1000. That is one day of Brahma. Sahasra Yuga Parantam Ahar Yad Brahmano Vidu. Brahma's one day is equal to 1000 times the aggregate of the 4 yugas calculated to be 4.3 million years. So that is 4 yugas times 1000. That is Brahma's 12 hours. On that basis, Brahma meditated for 100 years before he could understand the supreme cause of all causes. And then he wrote the Brahma Samhita, which is approved and recognized by Lord Chaitanya, and in which he sings, Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. One has to wait for the mercy of the Lord before one can either render service unto him or know him as it is. So even rendering service to the Lord is not possible without his mercy. Why would he want us to do any service to him? He has plenty of servants and very well qualified servants. So why would he want us? Well, one reason is if his pure devotee, like Srila Prabhupada, if he engages on us in Krishna's service or service of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they cannot refuse. Because they love their devotees so much. And actually, this is the only reason Krishna is engaging us in whatever way, faulty way, wrong way, or egoistic way, we are trying to serve Krishna. Because of only and only one person, Srila Prabhupada. There is no other reason. And we just imagine when devotees go in the temple, they cook for the deities, they dress the deities, they construct temples for the deities, they manage the temples for the deities, they go and collect funds for the deities' services. They organize all these big festivals, Rath Yatras, Janmashtami festival, this festival, boat festival, other festivals. Just imagine who does all these services in the spiritual world. Cooking, making garlands, dressing. Dressing is either done by Yashoda Maya at home, and when he's outside playing with his gopi friends, the gopis dress him. Radharani and Sakhis personally cook for Krishna. So they are the ones who cook for Krishna. If we are given this service somehow or other, we should not even remotely think, even this thought should not even remotely come in our mind that I have become as qualified as Radharani or Gopis or Yashoda Maya. Who arranges for all the festivals, all the pastimes of Krishna? Vrinda Devi does. And every morning we ask her, Moreya Bilas Bilas Kunja Diyova, Seva Adhikara Diya Koro Nijadasi. I'm your, please accept me as your servant and give me some service. We pray to Tulsi Maharani every morning. So actually that is our position, nothing else. Somehow or other, by mercy of Prabhupada, and that too, it's only causeless mercy. There's nothing else. It's not that we have become so qualified that he is going to give us his mercy. It's all causeless mercy. So somehow or other, he is engaging us in Krishna's service. It's not that Krishna needs our service. It's we need that service to get purified, to get qualified, to be eligible, to come to the level of that we can be admitted back in the spiritual world. And while doing this service, because of material contamination, material consciousness is so strong, we do get into plenty of nonsensical things. There could be sense gratification, it could be fighting among the devotees, it could be becoming envious of devotees, it could be playing politics, leg pulling, backbiting, So many things go on in the name of devotion service, in the garb of I am serving, and you're not qualified to serve. That is a whole reason for committing. I mean, that's the whole reason we commit offenses, thinking I am better than others. Somehow or other, I have been given this power, this position, and I can misuse this power and position and exploit others or do whatever I want. And instead of understanding, I am just it, even to say ourselves, I'm a servant of Krishna, that is even very high position. I'm just struggling to be a servant of Krishna. That's all. So that should be our mood when we engage in any service to Krishna. Not that we start finding faults and then we we exploit others or we boss around others. We are just servants. That's all. It's so hard to come to this level because of material conditioning is so strong. So strong. That's why Prabhupada books, Prabhupada's examples, we should watch Prabhupada's video, how he conducted himself. Read Prabhupada Lilamrita, you will find how Prabhupada dealt with others. Not as a boss, not as a authoritarian or dictatorship way. No, very compassionate mood, very compassionate mood, and very humbly. To train his disciples, he used to get strict, but that was a different story. But not strict as to exploit anybody. So if we can even inculcate 1% of that mode, our life will be successful in devotion service. That is Prabhupada. So by his mercy, somehow or other, Krishna is engaging us in his service. Text 23. Mrinal Gora Yat Shesha Bhoga Paryanka Ekam Purusham Shyanam Fanat Patra Yutmurtha Ratna Dyavir Hatadhva Hatadvanta Yuganta Toye. Brahma could see that on the water there was a gigantic lotus-like white bedstead, the body of Sheshanag, on which the personality of Godhead was lying alone. The whole atmosphere was illuminated by the rays of the jewels bedecking the hood of Sheshanag, and that illumination dissipated all the darkness of those regions. So we can just imagine what the scene could be. The Sheshanag is there, and his white bedstead, the white part of his body, the soft part where Lord Vishnu is residing, and there were jewels on the head of the hood of Sheshanag, and because of that jewels, everything was illuminated in the darkest regions because the sunlight doesn't go down below earthly planets. Sunlight doesn't go. So those planets are illuminated by the jewels on the heads, on the hoods of Sheshanag. Preksham Kshipantam Haritopalatre Sandhyabhra Niver Rukma Murtna Ratnod Dharoshadhi Somanasya Vanasrajo Venu Bhujangri Pangre. The luster of the transcendental body of the Lord mocked the beauty of the coral mountain. The coral mountain is very beautifully dressed by the evening sky, but the yellow dress of the Lord marked its beauty. There is gold on the summit of the mountain, but the Lord's helmet, bedecked with jewels, marked it. The mountains, waterfalls, herbs, etc., with the panorama of flowers, seemed like garlands, but the Lord's gigantic body and his hands and legs, decorated with jewels and pearls and tulsi leaves and flower garlands, marked the scene on the mountain. So, is a description or comparison made between the Lord and the coral mountain. The panoramic beauty of nature which strikes one with wonder may be taken as a perverted reflection of the transcendental body of the Lord. One who is therefore attracted by the beauty of the Lord is no longer attracted by the beauty of material nature, although he does not minimize its beauty. In Bhagavad Gita, it is described that one who is attracted by Param, the Supreme, is no longer attracted by anything inferior. So many times we see pictures which are beautiful, pictures depicting nature's beauty. But here Prabhupada says, one who is wondered, one who is attracted by the beauty of the Lord, beauty of his face, beauty of his splendor, beauty of his body, beauty of his eyes, or beauty of every part of his body, is not attracted by the beauty of the nature. But at the same time, devotees can see, like we saw the description of universal form of the Lord. So a devotee can see everything in relationship with the Lord. So if we see a beautiful scenery, like beautiful river, waterfall or river or any natural arrangement, you should immediately think of Krishna. Immediately that should remind us of Krishna. And if nothing else we can compare it, we can just imagine if the nature is so beautiful, how beautiful must be the Creator. That thought should come immediately. Text 25. Ayamato vistartah swamanam dehin loktraya sangrahena vichitra divya bharana shukanam kritashriya pashit veshadeham. His transcendental body, unlimited in length and breadth, occupied the three planetary systems, upper, middle, and lower. His body was self-illuminated by unparalleled dress and variegatedness and was properly ornamented. The length and breadth of the transcendental body of the Lord could only be measured by his own measurement because he is all-pervading throughout the complete cosmic manifestation. The beauty of material nature is due to his personal beauty. Yet he is always magnificently dressed and ornamented to prove his transcendental variegatedness, which is so important in the advancement of spiritual knowledge. And ornamented to prove his transcendental. And this is the beauty of Lord Garbhodaksha Vishnu is being described here. So what to speak of beauty of Krishna? How beautiful he must be. And Garbhodaksha Vishnu is an expansion of his expansion of his expansion of his expansion. Punsam swakamaya vivikta marga abhyarchatam kamadugangri padmam pradashayantam kripya nakhendu mayuk bhinnanguli charu patram. The Lord showed his lotus feet by raising them. His lotus feet are the source of all awards achieved by devotional service, free from material contamination. Such awards are for those who worship him in pure devotion. The splendor of the transcendental rays from his moon-like toenails and fingernails appeared like the petals of a flower. The Lord fulfills the desires of everyone just as one desires. Pure devotees are interested in achieving the transcendental service of the Lord, which is non-different from Him. Therefore, the Lord is the only desire of the pure devotees, and devotional service is the only spotless process for achieving His favor. Srila Rupa Goswami says in his Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu that pure devotional service is Jnana Karma Adi Anavritam. Pure devotional service is without any tinge of speculative knowledge and fruitive activities. Such devotional service is able to award the pure devotees the highest result, namely direct association with the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Shri Krishna. According to Gopal Tapani Upanishad, the Lord showed one of the many thousands of petals of his lotus feet. It is said, Brahmno asva anavritam me dhyata stuta parardhante so abuddhita gopavesho me purushat avirbhav. After penetrating for millions of years, Lord Brahma could understand the transcendental form of the Lord as Shri Krishna in the dress of a cowherd boy, and thus he recorded his experience in the Brahma Samhita in the famous prayer, Govinda Madi Purusham Tamaham Bhaja. So how Prabhupada is describing very nicely that the Supreme Lord, look at the shloka, what it says, the splendor of the transcendental rays from his moon-like toenails and fingernails. And if you look at our toenails and fingernails, they are dirty. And look at the Lord's toenails and fingernails. The transcendental rays are emerging from them, and they appear like petals of a flower, the toenails and the fingernails. It's amazing. Mukhen lokarti harasmitena parisfurat kundal manditena shonayate nadhar bimbabhasa pratyarhayantam sunasen subhrava. He also acknowledged the service of the devotees and vanquished the distress by his beautiful smile. The reflection of his face, decorated with earrings, was so pleasing because it dazzled with the rays from his lips and the beauty of his nose and eyebrows. And he didn't even have to go to any parlor and to get his eyebrows done. Devotional service to the Lord is very much obliging to him. There are many transcendentalists in different fields of spiritual activities, but devotional service to the Lord is unique. Devotees do not ask anything from the Lord in exchange for this service. Even the most desirable liberation is refused by devotees, although offered by the Lord. Thus the Lord becomes a kind of debtor to the devotees, and he can only try to repay the devotees' service with this ever-enchanting smile. The devotees are ever satisfied by the smiling face of the Lord, and they become enlivened. And by seeing the devotees so enlivened, the Lord himself is further satisfied. So there is continuous transcendental competition between the Lord and his devotees by such reciprocation of service and acknowledgement. So devotees lovingly and smilingly they serve the Lord. And Lord, seeing the smile on the face of his devotees, he gets happy and he smiles. And seeing his smile, devotees become happy and they become enlivened and they smile. And seeing the more happiness and smile of devotees, the Lord becomes happy and his smile increases. So there is a constant competition, and Prabhupada says, continuous transcendental competition between the Lord and his devotees by such reciprocation of service and acknowledgement. So this is so beautiful relationship. Whereas just think the other way, whereas relationship between a person, a living entity, and Maya. Maya is beating up the conditional living entity in the material world. And the living entity is, even after getting beaten up, is looking for some happiness here. So some happiness is there. That's why we remain in this material world. But even that happiness is temporary and of very, very small value. Just to get that, we work so hard, being beaten up by Maya, but we still keep on working hard and hard. On the other hand, a pure devotee, he just serves the Supreme Lord. And by serving him, he gets internal satisfaction. And the bliss that he experiences, nobody can experience it. So it's completely opposite. The material world is completely opposite of the spiritual world. And we belong to spiritual world. The soul belongs to the spiritual world. And we are trying to find happiness here in the material world. Not gonna happen. Whatever happiness we get is very little and very temporary, ephemeral. It just goes away just like that. In a second, it's off, out. But the spiritual happiness is eternal. And it's always increasing. It's not like it's limited. It's always increasing. That's why only a devotee can understand what is devotional service, what kind of happiness he is receiving. Nobody else can. So anyway, I will stop here. See anybody has any questions or comments.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Beautiful class. Beautiful explanation.
Thank you, Mata.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Danvat Pranam.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, here in the sloka, it's written Brahmaji meditated for 100 years of Brahma. So what's the age of Brahma, Prabhuji, just out of curiosity?
Actually, not Brahma's 100 years, it was demigods 100 years, 100 celestial years. So somehow it's, other places Prabhupada has mentioned that.
Hundred celestial years will be the demigods. Okay, Prabhuji, thank you so much. And how much that would be roughly around for our understanding, Prabhuji?
From our understanding, our 6 months is there 12 hours. So our 1 year is there 1 day.
Sorry, that wasn't clear. Our 6 months is there 1 hour, is it, Prabhuji?
6 months is there 12 hours. So 24 hours means our 1 year.
Ah.
So any other question or comment?
Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Thank you, brother. So I guess we can stop here. You all have a wonderful day. Hare Krishna. Jai Shri Prabhupada.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Jai Shri
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much.